everyone, it's James here from TSR Jivey Talks Tech. Now, there are lots of changes happening around here at the moment with regard to kit coming in and going out again. And well, I'm all right with change. Change is a good thing. It's good for the soul and all that. The thing I'm not a fan of is the unknown. The unknown leads to issues, and issues lead to problems, and I do not like problems. One of the biggest problems I have around here is unwanted noise. Noise in the form of hums, buzzes, and sounds like nasty interference type noises. Many of these come from me trying to be clever and configure the studio and the musical gear in such a way that everything talks to everything else all at the same time. However, sometimes a new piece of kit comes into the studio and does its very best to mess with my audio head. And those things are often old or vintage things like tube or valve amps, old synths, or anything that has a high power draw. Now, years of doing live gigs and events tells me that what I'm hearing is an earth or ground loop. Sound systems, be they recording studios with lots of kit, home hi-fi setups, or bands set up on stage with PAs and amps and all that sort of stuff, are prime targets for ground loops to develop. They form when there is more than one path for the audio ground or shield signal to flow through. For example, in a system that consists of a mixer and a power amplifier, or several power amps, and both the power amp and the mixer are earthed to the mains, which they should be by their power cables, there are two paths for the ground signal to flow down. One through the shield return wires in the linking cables, and the other via the mains earths in the power board or the in-house wiring. Basically, the power connection earth. And it's this dual earth that causes the loop, and hence the noise. Now, there's a really quick way around this. Take the plug from one of the units causing the problem noise and disconnect or cut the earth wire. Please, please, please never, ever do this. Lifting that earth may sort out the problem in the short term, but the earth connection is primarily there for your safety. If a fault develops in the unit with the lifted earth, it could cause a fire, or worse. If you touch the unit, you could become the link to ground. And we don't want to talk about how that ends up, do we? And yes, I have just thrown that cable away. However, help, and safe help, is at hand. This little IEC plug and socket equipped device is the GND or Ground Defender from those very smart people at Silent Power, who are a division of iFi. Now, I'll be honest, this is far from the coolest or sexiest product I'm ever going to review. However, it is one of the quickest to review. My aging 50th anniversary Vox AC30 sounds amazing, but it's of an age, and well, if there's going to be a ground hum, it's going to be this thing. And sure as night follows day, there you have it. Now, the optimum configuration for a system, and by that I mean every audio device which is switched on and making noise, and again, it could be in a studio, a live stage, or in your home cinema or listening environment, the ideal scenario is one ground or earth for the whole system. If the system has multiple grounds or earths, and the term is interchangeable, then it often creates this, here we go, let's call it the earth loop perfect storm. Now, as I said before, I could just go around cutting the earth connections in plugs, but I'm kind of fond of breathing, so I'm going to use the Ground Defender instead. Ground Defender uses some intelligent ground detection to break DC or direct current ground loops and eliminate ground loop hums. The electromagnetic interference shielding for the equipment in question is retained, as is the equipment's safety. Ground Defender is not a static ground lift, so all the gear in the rig is safe. If you find you have multiple ground loops, more than one Ground Defender can be used across your system. The Ground Defender is smarter than the average ground lift by a very long way. This thing has no switches or dials, it's totally passive, just insert the Ground Defender into the device that was connected to the external power supply, and then plug in the external power supply into the ground defender. There you go, all done. Ground Defender is a ground lift device. It works by inserting a resistance between the mains earth and the equipment ground. This lift is then intelligently bypassed if there is a surge in current, also known as a possible fault. That's the smart bit and what makes Ground Defender different from the other products on the market and keeps you, the operator, safe and doesn't make you the shortest, easiest path for the electricity to get to earth. What's better still is that Ground Defender may well improve the connected unit's sound quality as a byproduct of cleaning up the earth issues, due to Ground Defender's design retaining the EMI, the electromagnetic interference shielding. Now, you can find out the full specs for the Ground Defender at the iFi website. There'll be a link down there below. But if you're asking yourself if you need to spend 99 quid on one of these, I'm going to ask you, do you ever play in venues where you know exactly where the power for the PA is coming from? Or if you're plugged into the same power as the DJ booth, or the venue freezes? No? Me neither. This little box can save you hours hunting a venue trying to track down earth loop problems. Even in my studio, which has a master common ground spike, I still have issues from time to time because I have so much kit plugged in all the time. The Ground Defender is another of those little gadgets, or get out of jail free cards as I like to call them, that can save you time, save your sanity, and at the end of the day could save your life, because electricity is not to be messed with. So, thanks to the team at iFi for sending me a Ground Defender. And quite frankly, you're not going to get it back, which makes this a sponsored video, I guess. Plenty more goodies in the iFi catalogue for me to wade my way through. If you've liked this video, please do like, subscribe and hit that bell to be kept up to date with all things JTT. But for now, my name's James Jivey from Jivey Talks Tech, and I'll see you again very soon.